Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to Christmas in Arkham 2025. We're picking up with part 2 of our playthrough of Arkham Horror 2nd Edition against Shub-Niggurath, where we left off from the morning, with things being pretty in control, I would say. We'll see how long that lasts, though. We just finished up with our most recent Mythos card, so what we're going to do here is I want to play some other games today. As much as I love Arkham Horror 2nd Edition, I really want to do some other stuff on the channel today. Because I actually still want to play a World War II in the Pacific game, because today is, of course, December 7th, and on this day back in 1941, Pearl Harbor was attacked by the Japanese, sparking the U.S. into World War II. So, what we're going to do to get around that is at 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and I've got my clock over on my other monitor, I am going to be pulling a hard stop. At that point, we'll assess the board. Whichever side's closer will get the win. If it's us, we'll have the sweep in Christmas, and we'll have the win locked up in Christmas in Arkham this year. If it's Shub-Niggurath, we will be playing Elder Sign next week with Jester back for all the marbles. With that being said, let's move right into the action since we've got a clock on us. We were just about to start with the next upkeep phase. Jacqueline had taken the first player marker. So Jacqueline is currently at Independence Square. What do we need to do here? Well, a couple things we need to do here is we need to get these 3 clues. Agnes currently has the Baya key to deal with. So Agnes should be able to deal with that no problem. I also have a relay down here at the Witch House that's hidden under this mess of the Warlock, the Formless Spawn, and the Star Spawn. So we might have that trying to prevent us from winning the game. Jacqueline's got a speed of 3. She can actually get down to the Black Cave and grab this clue, and I think that's what she'll do. We could probably use clues to keep Mythos cards at bay, especially if we can keep Monster Surges under control. So everything for her should be fine as is. I'll unexhaust Shriveling. Actually, looking at her... Actually, strike that. I didn't realize she was that low on sanity. Jacqueline's going to go to Arkham Asylum and get some rest. I can grab that clue next turn. As for Agnes, she also might need to stop at Arkham Asylum, but the problem here is she's got the Baya key to try to deal with. She's going to have to pass the horror check, though. So let's send her sanity. Let's give her a little bit more on the will. That way I've got a little bit more of a chance because she's got the rifle that I'm going to try to use first. Then I can use Wither if I need it. So first order of business dealing with the Baya key. Agnes will give a little bit on the combat check to make sure she passes the horror check. As for Leo is currently at the Unvisited Isle, having just sealed the gate. Assuming Agnes can get the Baya key, get rid of the Baya key, he may go grab these 3 clues down at the Science Building. For that, he'll need a speed of 3, which he's got. I can get that Explorer token off the board, by the way. As for Bob, he'll be coming out of the Plateau of Leng. Actually, he does have the 6 clues to make a seal at the Plateau of Leng. That'll take him down to... Actually, that'll take him down to the Dreamlands, into that mess. Does he have firepower to deal with it? He's got the Tommy gun, but unfortunately the Tommy gun isn't going to do anything against the Dark Young. Actually, it will do something against the Dark Young. It's the Ghost it won't do anything against, though. And the Flying Polyp is also pretty bad news. So Bob might be taking a big hit to potentially get something off the board. I don't think he gets anything off the board, though. Nope. He won't get anything off the board there. So, yeah. He is in a pretty bad spot there. But that's it for the upkeep phase. That'll bring us into the movement phase, where Jacqueline is going 1 to Downtown Streets, 2 up to Arkham Asylum. The other 2 move will ultimately go to waste. As for Agnes, she's going to deal with this Baya key. She will have 2 dice on a will test because it's -1. And last I checked, 3 minus 1 is 2 dice. which Agnes will pass the will check. So that actually worked out very well. We'll get all of these dice out of the way since it looked like it spawned new dice right on top of me. And then Agnes will... She's got a +5 to combat checks. So you'll use the rifle. 5 + 1 is 6. She needs 2 successes. She does have clues to spend if I need them, and I do not. So I will claim the Bayaki as a monster trophy for Agnes. Very nicely done there, Agnes. Okay, that spawned that out of the way. Leo, now that his path is clear, is going to move 1 to the Merchant District streets. We'll see if he and Agnes want to trade anything around. They actually will trade. Leo will give Agnes Mists of Relay in case Agnes needs to evade something. He's got the shotgun. He's very in your face with that. 2 to Miskatonic University streets. 3 to the Science Building, where Leo will grab these 3 clues. That'll bring him up to 4 clues. 1 more, and we can send Leo in a gate once we stand him up. Bob is coming out in the woods, which is where the Plateau of Lengate is. He will get an explored marker on that. That's it for the movement phase. We'll have the Arkham Encounter phase next. Jacqueline will encounter Arkham Asylum. Instead of having an encounter, she can recover sanity. She can regain 1 sanity for free or spend $2 to move back to full. She's going to spend $2 and go all the way back to full sanity. That's a quick Arkham Encounter phase for Jacqueline. Agnes's is even quicker. She doesn't have an Arkham Encounter phase. Leo does have one. He's in the Science Building. The Science Building. An archaeology professor shows you an item he recovered in an Egyptian pyramid. If you have 2 or fewer spells, it glows in your hand and you find yourself outside still holding it. Leo actually just traded his only spell, and he would have met it even if he only had the 1 spell. Not wanting to confront the professor again, you decide to keep it. Gain 1 unique item and move to the street. If you have more than 2 spells, nothing happens. Leo has no spells, so he gets a unique item instead. He'll be moving out to the street with an obsidian statue. Any phase, discard the obsidian statue to cancel all stamina or sanity loss being dealt to you from 1 source. And then we established Leo does move to the street. We'll give that a quick shuffle, and Leo will step out there. Bob is looking at a -2 gate. I think I forgot to account for that. Yeah, we're gonna pretend we bumped his fight up. 4 - 2 is 2 dice, and Bob's got 1 spare clue for a reroll. We'll take that as a pass. I'll clear the rest of these dice out of the way. But Bob will close the gate at the woods. He'll take that. Actually, we'll move it like that. We'll put the monsters there. And then once I get done here, Bob will spend the 5 clue tokens to put a seal on the gate there. Yep. Looks like all of them go in there. The Plateau of Leng is a diamond, and Plateau of Leng is a diamond and a slash gate. None of these are diamonds or slashes. I don't think anything else is either. Warlock's a circle. Formless spawns a hexagon, and the star spawns a cross is a plus. So no help there. But that will get another blue seal on the board. So Bob's got a disaster on his hands there. Anyway, that's it for the Arkham Encounter phase. We'll blow through the Otherworld Encounter phase because nobody's there. And we will move into the Mythos phase. So we'll get a card from the deck of Doom. All right, Independence Square will get a gate. It's a regular gate. It's the Abyss. -2 gate to try to close. Clue appears at the Unnameable. Then we have Hexagon moving on white, except the Dark Young is immobile. Slash, Triangle, and Star moving on black. The Flying Polyp, however, is not immobile and is a hexagon monster, so it'll move up to Uptown Streets, see nobody there, and then move to the sky. The Dark Young is, like I said, hexagon but doesn't move. The Warlock is a circle. The Formless Spawn is a hexagon. It will move to the French Hill Streets, and the Star Spawn will stay put. Strange Tremors cease. Headline: all Chthonians and Doles in Arkham are returned to the Cup. If at least one monster returns to the Cup, raise the terror level by 1. Nobody's returning to the Cup, though. And then that'll be it for that card. We will discard that. All right, Agnes is our first player, so we'll give her the first player token. Is there a way I can get rid of the... I'm trying to get rid of the Bayaki. I think it's counting... I was thinking it might have been counting cloned monsters for a second. I still don't get where it's getting 10 monsters in Arkham from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is bothering me a little bit. 6, 7. Yeah, I really don't know where it's seeing 10 monsters in Arkham from. Anywho, we've got 2 seals on the board now. Agnes is our first player as we move into a new upkeep phase. Let's see, what does she want to do? She's at 1 sanity right now. She actually might want to head for Arkham Asylum to try to get... She might want to head for Arkham Asylum to try to get healed up herself. Jacqueline is there. I could have Agnes give... Or I could have Jacqueline give Agnes the... I could have her give Agnes Find Gate, which might not be a terrible idea, actually. I think... Let's see, the Formless Spawn is physically immune. So we definitely need something magical to deal with that. Yeah, I think we'll have Agnes go up to Arkham Asylum and get some healing in for sanity. For that, she needs a speed of 3. Even a 2 would be fine. But yeah, as Dave's Tabletop Gaming is first to join us here in Arkham, trying to hopefully lock up the win in Christmas in Arkham this year. So yeah, Agnes has got plenty of speed to get up to Arkham Asylum. Moving over to Leo. What do I want Leo to do this turn? Leo could potentially jump in a gate. Actually, no, he couldn't yet. He would need 1 more clue. Fortunately, there's 1 more clue up here at the Unnameable that I think I'll have Leo go get. He's got plenty of speed, so he can move out of there. He can move into there. As for Bob, who's got a disaster on his hands right now, because Bob's got to try to get past these, the ghost and the Dark Young. That's gross. They're not in the same neighborhood. He's not in the same neighborhood as Jacqueline, so he can't use Best of Friends. Okay, that is problematic. So, yeah. So Bob's going to have to try to sneak. Unfortunately, he's going to auto-fail both of the sneak checks. So he's going to have to try to fight both of these. The Dark Young's physically resistant, but definitely more dangerous. It also needs 4 toughness to kill. And I don't think Bob's getting up to that. 6 physical resistance cuts everything in half, remember. So that'd be 6-10. Actually, that'd be 3-10. So it would cut the dice in half that he's getting from the Tommy gun. And the ghost just doesn't give him anything. So Bob might be headed for St. Mary's Hospital. That might be his way out. Yeah, looks like he's going to have to fight his way out. So I'm going to leave his fight will right where it is. We'll move into the upkeep, or not the upkeep phase, the movement phase next. Dave, I think the simplest way I could explain Arkham 2nd Edition, I know you said you never played it before. I think the simplest way I could describe it is at a very start, is bloated Eldritch Horror. So essentially, there's now an upkeep phase before the action phase. The encounter phase is split in two, where you've got the Arkham encounter phase and the Otherworld encounter phase separated out, and then you've got your Mythos phase. There's obviously more to it than just that, but I figure that's probably a good place to start in terms of describing how 2nd Edition is different from Eldritch. Anyway, Agnes is moving 1 to Downtown Streets and 2 up to Miskatonic University, Arkham Asylum, where she's saying hi to Jacqueline. Agnes will have only 3 clues. Let's see. Am I going to have Agnes, or am I going to have Jacqueline give Agnes Find Gate? I think I am going to have Jacqueline give Agnes Find Gate, since I'm getting ready to send Agnes into another world. We'll put that right there. That's it for Agnes. Leo is moving 1 to Merchant District Streets, 2 to the Unnameable, and he's going to grab this clue. So now Leo could jump in a gate. As for Bob, he's got a tough go of it here. So he's going to start off with a will check. He's got 3 dice against the Dark Young. He will roll that first. He will pass the horror check, but he still loses 1 sanity because of the Nightmarish 1 on the card. Then physical resistance. He only gets 3 from the Tommy gun. So that's 3 plus 4 is 7 dice, minus 1 is 6. And he needs 4 successes. The reason he needs 4 successes, despite there only being 3 toughness, is because if you watch part 1, you'll see that Shub-Niggurath modifies the toughness for all monsters to be increased by 1. So Bob has got 7 dice to try to kill this thing. Come on, Bob. We need 4 successes. And shockingly, we get 4 successes. We actually get 5 successes. But I'm going to claim it only because it's going back in the cup. That's another modification from Shub-Niggurath. Wrong box, wrong bag. There we go. That's another modification for Shub-Niggurath, is that Dark Young all have the Endless ability, meaning I can't claim them as monster trophies unless I have something that lets me ignore Endless. Which in this case, Bob did not have anything that let me ignore Endless. Bob now has to fight the Ghost. He is looking at a -2, so 1 die. That barely flipped, so I'm going to roll it again. Okay, he passes that. Now it's a -3 on the combat check. He needs 2 toughness to kill it. Unfortunately, he gets nothing from the Tommy gun because it's physically immune. -3 actually brings him down to 1 die. He'll spend a clue to get a... Actually, I don't think it works that way, so he's going to fail that check. He'll take 2 damage. And he's going to roll an evade check at a -3 modifier. Actually, he can't even pass that, so Bob is going to end up taking enough damage to end up at Arkham Asylum. No, not Arkham Asylum, St. Mary's Hospital. He will heal to full, and then he'll draw an injury condition. His injury is disfiguring scars. Anytime you fail a sneak check, not including evade checks while in Arkham, raise the terror level by 1. Treat this card as a duplicate of Xenophobia for purposes of being devoured. So that also means Bob won't have an Arkham encounter because he went to the hospital. That's it for Bob. We are going into the Arkham encounter phase. Speaking of that, Jacqueline is up at... Actually, Jacqueline hasn't moved yet. So Jacqueline is going to wave bye-bye to Agnes, moving 1 to Downtown Streets, 2 to the Abyss. We'll try to keep the gates in play, under control. Now we're into the Arkham encounter phase, where Agnes is now going to spend $2 to regain her full sanity. As for Leo, Leo is at the Unnameable, so he's going to have a merchant district encounter. The Unnameable, a monster and a gate appear. Oh, fantastic. So we'll get a Doom token, bringing Shub-Niggurath up to 7 Doom. We'll spawn a gate. That is, oh boy, that's the Great Hall of Celiano, which is a -1 gate, but the brain icon indicates that you lose 1 sanity whenever you fail to close it. So Leo will move to the Great Hall of Celiano. Will become delayed. And I think there's a button here to become delayed. Yep. I'll get the monster for Leo in a minute after I finish delaying Leo. What did that do? Nothing. Delightful. All right. Oh, there we go. Looks like it makes a note in the status down here that Leo's delayed. So we need a monster to go with it. I'll give it a shuffle so I don't draw the Dark Young out again. Yep. Wrong bag. We're getting the Gug. -2 to sneak past. It's a slash monster. Overwhelming 1. I caught confused glimpses of a terrible, wrongly angled mouth, multi-jointed arms, and a protruding eyes as big as a man's head. -1 on the horror check or lose 2 sanity. Excuse me. -2 on the combat check or lose 4 health. 3, aka 4 toughness to kill, once again because of Shub-Niggurath. Ah, that's delightful. We're up to 7 Doom on Shub-Niggurath. Bob is over in Arkham Asylum. He doesn't get an encounter. So now we're into the Otherworld encounter phase. Actually, Jacqueline gets pulled through the abyss. Pulled through to the abyss. Now we're into the Otherworld encounter phase. We'll go to Leo first, who's delayed in the Great Hall of Celiano. He needs a blue or a green. As we're flipping over cards for that. Green, and we have Celiano. You come across a wizened old creature who debates you with lore for some time. If you pass a lore -1 check, Leo's lore is 2. -1, he gets a single die at this. Come on, Leo. That looks cocked, so I'm going to move those out of the way and re-roll. That's a 1. He's not going to spend a die. He will avoid good stuff, though. Jacqueline is over in the abyss. She needs a red or a blue card. We'll get her 1. Red, and we've got the abyss. Pass a luck -1 check. Her luck right now is 1 -1. I'm going to spend a clue to give her a die because I saw the fail effect. Come on, Jacqueline. Let's have this. Yes, we get it. Pass a luck -1 check to avoid bad stuff. Sometimes that's the best thing you can hope for in this world. Alright, that is it for the Otherworld encounter phase. Now we go to the Mythos phase, as we'll use that to keep it updated. The Witch House has got a monster surge. So we'll start with a monster there. Dimensional Shambler. We'll go through that when it becomes relevant. Moving over to the Unnameable. We've got a zombie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot to draw a monster with the Abyss when that came out. We'll pretend that wasn't there. That's a Chthonian coming back. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So actually the Chthonian is going to go to the outskirts. Oh, we've actually got the Flying Polyp in the sky as well. So the zombie is going to go to the outskirts as well. And I think the rest of these monsters, we're just going to shortcut this because we've got 2 more monsters to come out. So I'm just going to put both of these back in the bag and then increase the terror level by 1. So that'll make the terror level 1. Alright, clue appears at the Black Cave. I definitely want to get somebody over there so we can gobble those up. Circle moves on white, square and diamond move on black. Okay, so let's deal with Circle first. The Warlock is also immobile. He doesn't move. The Flying Polyp is a hexagon. Also doesn't move. The Dimensional Shambler is a fast monster. That's what the red border means. So he's moving 2 spaces on black. That'll be 1, 2. We need to be careful with the Shambler, because if we fail a check, a combat check, we're lost in time and space. Yikes, that could be problematic. And gangs clean up Easttown. All monsters in Easttown streets or locations are returned to the cup, except we've got nobody here because that's pretty clean. Oop. And we've still got the effect on the Migo, not that we have any Migo out right now. Alright, we've got 4 gates in Arkham, and I've got 2 investigators in them already. So, that will make Leo our first player. Let's see, what do I want Leo to do here? Do I want him to try to jump in a gate? He'd have to get past the dimensional... He's going to have to get past the Dimensional Shambler now. Actually, no, I take that back. Leo is in a gate already. He's just standing up on his turn. I think I'm going to leave his stats mostly at... I think I'm going to pull his Fight and Will down to 3-2. That way we've got a little more even stat distribution. That'll be it for Leo. As for Bob, might be worth trying to get somebody blessed, which I think we're going to do. I think we're going to bless... I think we're going to bless Jacqueline, but I'll think about that as we get deeper into the phase. So in order to get over to South Church, he's got enough gate trophies to do it. He's got a gate trophy to do it, so that's going to be 1 gate trophy to make somebody blessed. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So he's got enough speed to get over there, right? Yep. All right, we'll bump his speed sneak down to 3-2. That's fine. Let's see, moving over to Jacqueline, who's in the Abyss. She's just going to be moving to the second half of the Abyss. As for Agnes, basically our designated monster puncher in this game, is she going to go punch another one? I think she is. She can probably start spending some of these monster trophies to get people blessed. Agnes the Destroyer tonight, folks. Or tonight. So yeah, I think that'll be her turn. So we're going to move into the movement phase. On your feet, Leo. You got time to die later. That's it for Leo's turn. Bob is going to move 1 to Uptown Streets, 2 to Southside Streets, 3 to South Church. Jacqueline is moving to the second half of the Abyss. And Agnes is going to move 1 to Downtown Streets, 2 to Rivertown Streets, and she's going to deal with the Dimensional Shambler, which is a Will -2 check. So that's 1 single solitary die for Agnes, which she will save the clue on because she can spare a sanity. Yep. Sanity. Then she's going to use the rifle. 5 + 1 is actually... Yeah, 5 + 1 is 6, -2 is 4 dice. And Agnes needs 2 successes, which she will get no successes. I'm going to spend a clue token because I don't want Agnes to be lost in time and space. All right, there's 1. We'll spend a second clue. And we'll spend our last clue. Nope. So Agnes is now lost in time and space. Fortunately, this isn't Yog-Sothoth level bad. She is lost in time and space because she failed the combat check. So Agnes becomes delayed while she's there. Okay. There we go. So Agnes delayed while lost in time and space, which means her next turn gets skipped. Let's see. That's it for the movement phase. Arkham Encounter phase next. And our first Arkham Encounter this round is actually, I think we blow through the Arkham Encounter phase. No, we don't. We go to Bob, who's going to spend a monster trophy. Who's going to spend a gate trophy as his encounter. He will bless. Who's he going to bless? I think we're going to stick with our plan and bless Jacqueline. Blessings work exactly the same way they do in second edition or in Eldritch in terms of 4s being successes. 4s, 5s, and 6s are successes. On upkeep, roll a die and discard on a 1. And the first turn you have it, you don't have to roll for the blessing. So that's it for Bob. Now we're into the Otherworld Encounter phase. Leo is up first. He's undelayed. Oop. Leo is in the first half of the Great Hall of Celiano, so we'll undelay Leo and get an encounter card. In the Great Hall of Celiano, he needs a green or blue, and he is looking at Other. Pass a luck -1 check. His luck is 3, -1 is 2 dice. I think we'll sit on that, so we'll avoid good stuff. We'll miss good stuff, I should say. Let's see, Jacqueline is now blessed. She's got blessed dice, so I'll change the state out on that. There we are. Jacqueline is still in the abyss. She needs a red or a blue. Red, and we have the abyss. Uh-oh. Starving, you consider eating some of the glowing mushrooms. If you decide to do so, make a luck -1 check. If you fail, roll a die and lose that much stamina. If you succeed, roll a die and gain that much stamina. Jacqueline is at full stamina right now. I'm not going to risk that with weird mushrooms. Seems dumb to me, but what do I know, right? Anyway, that's it for the Otherworld Encounter phase. Now we have the Mythos phase. Okay. The Witch House has another monster surge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with a monster in the sky. Everything, the terror limit's going to move up to 2. Clue appears at the Black Cave. I really want to get up there and gobble those clues up. Moon moves on white, Cross moves on black. So the star spawn's moving. And the ghost is not. The ghost is immobile. Alright. 4th of July Parade. Merchants cannot move into or out of the Merchant District streets until the end of the next turn. Leave this card in play until then to indicate this. So I'll put a closed marker on the Merchant District streets. Okay, it is now 3:24. We have time for another couple more rounds, probably. Bob will become first player, and we'll move into a new upkeep phase. Yeesh, yawning like crazy. Bob, let's see what he wants to do. How many gate trophies do we have? So we still have enough to win via gate closures if we can. Bob is going to... What is he going to do? That's a good question. Are we going to use the Tommy gun to send Bob monster hunting? The formless spawn is physically immune, so that seems like a terrible idea. The star spawn is a pig. 3, 4. Yeah, I think Bob is going to go to the administration building for classes. To do that, 1, 2, 3, 4. He needs a speed of 4, which he can get to by pushing his speed sneak up. Whoop. No, Bob has not left the case. I think we're probably here. I think here. And we'll say here. So in order to get a speed of... Oh, crap. I think I lost... Oh, no, I didn't lose all of his possessions. Okay, that's a relief. Let's see. I did lose his location, though. He's at South Church right now. He needs a speed of 4 to get to the Miskatonic University, or to get to the administration building. To do that, he's going to bump his speed sneak up to 4-1. Jacqueline is coming out of the abyss. Her lore is up as high as I can get it, so she's blessed. So that should help us close the gate. Unfortunately, we can't seal it because we don't have enough clues. As for Agnes, she consists of standing up and rejoining the board. She can move anywhere after she's been lost in time and actually, I'm going to check something here. I believe lost in time and space is, of course, not listed in here. Is the main rule book available? Flowchart. I don't think it's here. Jeez, yawning like crazy. There's nothing here that explains lost in... Oh, here we go. Then move into any street area during the upkeep phase. So actually, that should have happened already. Agnes should have been in any area. She'll move to... I think she'll move to the witch house. We'll put her in the relay gate. So we'll put Agnes there. We'll pretend this is still the... We'll pretend this is... Actually, this is technically... Oop! Hold up. Not what I wanted yet. We are soon going to have to remake the Otherworld deck, though. Yeah, I think Agnes is fine with that. She's going to use the rifle to try to deal with this Warlock because he's magically immune. And actually, 2 clues would be very helpful because she's currently got no clues. So yeah, that's what we're going to go with. We will go into... Actually, Leo is moving over to the second half of the Great Hall of Celiano. So, with that being said, now we're into the movement phase. Bob is our first player. Is moving 1 to South Side Streets, 2 to Uptown Streets, 3 to Miskatonic University Streets, 4 to the Administration Building. Jacqueline is coming out of the Abyss, which the Abyss is back up here at Independence Square. We'll get her an Explore token. Let's see. Agnes is going to have to try to fight this Warlock. And of course, it's not wanting to clone for me. Maybe there it'll clone. Nope. Let me see if I can put Agnes. Let's see if putting Agnes on the Witch House helps me out with that. There we go. Okay, first the Warlock. Will check -1. That's a 3. -1 is 2 dice. She will pass that. Then it's fight -3. 1 + 5 is 6, -3 is 3. I don't like the idea of that, so I'm actually going to... Actually, no, magically immune is what it has to be. So she's going to spend... She's going to have 3 dice, and all of them need to be successes. 2 are... Let's That's all she's going to get, though. What's the modifier to try to sneak past it? That's a -2. So unfortunately, Agnes is going to fail. She'll lose a stamina, and then she'll roll again. Actually, do we want to try it? Yeah, we're not going to try to evade a... one success. That's not working. That's another stamina. She'll roll again. Actually, you know what? Strike that. Now she is going to try the Mists of Relay. The casting modifier is a -2. Actually, 7 -2 is 5 dice. She will cast Mists of Relay. So she will give the Warlock the slip. As for Leo, he's moving into the second half of the Great Hall of Celiano. Okay. So Agnes Baker is no longer delayed. But she did manage to give the Warlock the slip. Alright, Leo just moved over to the second half of the Great Hall of Celiano. That was his turn. Okay. Bob is at the administration building. He's going to spend spend $8 actually. So he's going to put the 10 back, get 2 singles back. 2 singles, not 2 10s. 1, 2. Okay, and then he's going to draw 2 skills. He's going to look at Bravery or Luck. +1 Luck when you spend a clue token to add to any luck check, add a bonus die. Or Bravery is the same skill I think Leo has, yep, to reroll a horror check. He's going to take +1 Luck, though. And he'll discard Bravery. Okay, that's his newest skill. Jacqueline came out of the abyss. She got her Explore marker. She's trying to close that. It's a -2 gate. Jacqueline's got 5. -2 is 3 blessed dice. Come on, Jacqueline. And we get there. We close the gate. Nicely done by Jacqueline. That is a hexagon gate for Jacqueline. So any hexagons come off the board. That includes the Flying Polyp. Any other hexagons coming off the board? The Formless Spawn comes off the board as well. But that's it. Okay. So that was the Arkham Encounter phase. Agnes and Leo are both in Other Worlds. So now we have the Other World Encounter phase. First up, we will have Agnes, who's in... Actually, this is the Arkham Encounter phase still. So Agnes does move to Relay. Now we're into the Other World Encounter phase. Agnes is up first in Relay. She will need a red or yellow card. There's red and other. The humidity and heat is exhausting. Lose 1 stamina. There's worse things that could have happened. Leo is in the Great Hall of Celiano. So he... Actually, we need to make sure we get that... We need to get Jacqueline back on the board. There we are. Leo is in the Great Hall of Celiano. Blue or green. There we go. Blue, and we've got Celiano. The symbol above the doorway glows. Make a luck -1 check. His luck is 3, -1 is 2 dice. And pass. Nicely done, Leo. If you pass, gain 2 stamina and 2 sanity. That is awesome. That'll bring Leo back to something resembling better shape. We'll bring this to the discard pile. And then let me check Jacqueline's clue situation. She's got 1 clue token. So I have to hope we duck trouble so to have a chance of winning this turn. But let's see what we get here. We need a Monster Surge. Or we hit a seal. That amounts to the same thing. Alright, the Woods has got a seal on it. That's what that Doom token is for. A clue appears at the Historical Society. So that works almost as well. Square and diamond move on white. Circle moves on black. So Square, we said, moves on white. I don't think we have any diamonds. The red's fast, that's why he's moving 2 spaces. I don't think we have any diamonds or mobile circles. We do not. Okay. And our headline, that headline goes away, and our new headline, our new environment, is Happy Days Are Here Again. I promise I'm not going to do any kind of singing. Due to the renewed prosperity that has come to Arkham, the terror level cannot increase. That is beautiful. So that'll bring us to Jacqueline as our first player, and we're into the upkeep phase. Let me check when the... I did give... Okay, that's during the movement phase. Okay, so now Jacqueline is going to have to roll for her blessing, since this is the second turn with it. She has a... I thought it was Jacqueline I blessed. Oh, I must have never... Did I not give her the card for it? Oh, I think I gave it to Agnes by mistake. But I did say I was giving it to Jacqueline. So she's got to roll for it now. On a 1, she discards it. Which that is a 1, because of course it is. But the blessing, I think, did its job. So now what do I want Jacqueline doing? Jacqueline is... Actually, the Merchant District streets are open again. Jacqueline, I think, is going to see about coming down to the Black Cave and grabbing these 3 clues. She's got 4 speed because of her speed. So yeah, we're fine there. Agnes is going to try to come out of Relay this turn. She's going to use Find Gate to try to come out. She's got more than enough sanity to pay for the spell. So she is going to try. Actually, her lore is 6 where I want it to be. Mists of Relay also exhausts. Leo is going to bump his Fight Will up with his 2 focus. He's getting ready to come out of the Great Hall of Celiano. He's going to try to close that gate so we can just win the game on the spot. As for Bob is at the administration building. What do I want him to do? There's not much for him to do if my plan works. He's just going to go to the library, I guess, because why not? Set him in a safe spot. That'll bring us into the movement phase, once I find where Jacqueline is with our first player control panel. There's Jacqueline. She will move 1 to downtown streets, 2 to easttown streets, 3 to Rivertown streets, and 4 to the Black Cave. And that'll give Jacqueline these 3 clues. Which I got them, by the way, so I can tell the mod to relax. Agnes is going to try to come out of Relay. She's going to pay the 1 sanity for that. She's looking at a casting modifier of -1, so 5 dice trying to come out. Which she will cast. She will successfully cast Find Gate. She will come out. Once I find Agnes's token. There she is. Oop. And by coming out here, Agnes will be able to ignore the Warlock, which is what I want her to do. Speaking of coming out, Leo is also coming out. He's coming out at the Unnameable of the Great Hall of Celiano. He will also get... Let me do this. I'm going to put him at the Merchant District streets for the time being. I'm going to move all of that out of the way. Leo should be at the Great Hall of Celiano. There we go. It was taking a second to mirror. And then Bob is going to move 1 to Miskatonic University streets, 2 to the library. He's going to sit this out somewhere safe. Jacqueline is going to lead us off in the Arkham Encounter phase. Hopefully no whammies here. The Black Cave. Bats. Hundreds of them. Passes speed -1 check to get out of the cave safely. Her speed is 4, -1 is 3 dice. Oop, Jacqueline now gets the regular dice again. And she will fail miserably. We'll spend a clue to re-roll that. Re-roll one of these. And she'll pass. To avoid bad stuff. Mostly I wanted to make sure I avoided the gate whammy coming out. And now Agnes is trying to close the gate at Relay. She's looking at a lore of 6, a -3 gate. She's got 3 dice to try to close this. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any re-rolls. So we're going to have to hope Agnes gets lucky here. She does not. That is unfortunate. Gross. So she's going to have to deal with the Warlock, it looks like, next turn to have a shot at closing that gate. That is very unfortunate that she doesn't have any way to re-roll. Actually, wait a minute. 7 -3 is 4 dice. So come on, Agnes. There she gets it. So she will claim Relay as a gate trophy. Very nicely done, Agnes. That'll take any plus monsters off the list, which is a party of the Star Spawn. He can definitely go away. And now here's our chance for Leo to try to win the game here. Are there any other plus monsters on the board? I don't think so. So Leo, over at the Unnameable, is looking at the Great Hall of Celiano. It's a -1 gate. He's got 3 dice, and he's got clues for rerolls. Now we should have no gates on the board right now. So you can't always trust the information down here. But we do have 1 gate on the board left right now. If Leo can pass this gates check, we will win the game. And the reason we're going to win the game is because we'll have no gates on the board, and gate trophies in investigators' possession equal to or greater than the number of investigators. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Leo, let's have this. Nope. So we will spend a die to reroll. This is a fight check that we're using. That did it. Okay, so that'll give us the Great Hall of Celiano as a gate trophy. Any star monsters would come off the board, but there are no star monsters on the board. And as you can see, we'll tally it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 trophy. We have 8 gate trophies right now, and no monsters on the board. No, not no monsters on the board. No gates on the board. Which I wish this had more pages on it, but that is a win condition to have no gates on the board, which we have. Leo will spend. Leo doesn't have the clues to make the seal, but where I'm rambling with this is it is a win condition. Just going to double check. No more gates on the board, and number of gate trophies greater than or equal to the number of players. So as you can see here, we'll do a quick pan over of the board. There are no gate trophies there are no gates on the board. And we have 3 trophies with Jacqueline, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total. So because we have no gates on the board and enough gate trophies, the game is over in our victory. So I'm rambling a bit, but that will do it for this playthrough of Arkham Horror 2nd Edition. We'll bring it back up top to wrap the video up. We didn't even need to invoke the time limit on this one. But I was definitely right, as we'll tab back in for a second. But I will mention that looking at Shub-Niggurath, I wasn't sure we were winning a fight against her, especially with all the physical weapons we got at the start of the game. But that will do it for this playthrough of Arkham Horror 2nd Edition. We have officially won Christmas in Arkham. Jester will be back as we're going for the sweep next week over Shub-Niggurath in Elder Sign. Before that, though, Saturday Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Corleone family cookbook as we make the side Fettuccine Alfredo. I will be doing a Pacific World War II game later tonight to commemorate the attack on Pearl Harbor back on this day in history in 1941. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications to get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.